As 200,000 veterans continue to wait for decisions about monthly disability payments, a North Carolina senator is telling us that he wants to be part of the solution. And this does come after our Where's the Money investigation earlier this week exposed that backlog of VA appeals impacting veterans here and across the country.
Now, this process can leave them waiting years for an answer, and there's no guarantee they'll actually get paid. A panel of experts gave veterans practical advice during our town hall last night, but we're not stopping there. Nate Morbido continues pushing for systemic changes in Washington to speed up the process.
Two members of Congress represent North Carolina on Veterans Affairs committees, one in the Senate, the other in the House. Both are promising action.
I don't think it's fair.
Veterans like Leroy Perry shoulder visible and invisible battle scars, including one sustained on American soil that especially stings.
That's the stuff veterans shouldn't have to go through.
A piercing wound of disrespect.
I put my life on the line for you.
They are now at the mercy of the same government they once defended, with little faith in a system that so far has failed to hold up its end of the agreement.
It's heartbreaking. I mean, when you talk to some of these veterans and you hear their stories.
Senator Thom Tillis sits on the Veterans Affairs Committee.
I want to be a part of the solution to fixing the backlog.
He was one of just 11 Republican senators who voted against the PACT Act last year, which passed anyhow, approving additional presumptive conditions now considered automatically connected to a veteran's military service. Health problems linked to burn pits, Agent Orange, and other toxic exposures. Disabilities that allow veterans to qualify for extra benefits.
I was worried about whether or not we could fulfill the promise that we were making. And we're already seeing early signs that the challenges that I anticipated are occurring.
The PACT Act also approved money for the VA to try and hire more employees at the Board of Veterans' Appeals. But Senator Tillis says Congress rushed the bill through and set expectations too high. In the meantime, the backlog has grown.
200,000 or more, and it will be more, is just unacceptable.
He says he's committed to turning the situation around so veterans don't fall into an even longer line than existed before.
We've got to make sure that we get this right, that the Veterans Administration has the system and the people and the technology in place to not frustrate veterans.
Scott Hope with Disabled American Veterans says there's only one way to solve this backlog, and it comes down to money.
What we need is legislation to change the budget of the Department of Veterans Affairs, making sure that they have the trained staff to make the decisions timely and accurately.
While actions by Congress and the VA have resulted in some improvement, attorney Amy Folkler agrees it's not enough.
Veterans is a bipartisan issue, and they need to take care of our veterans, and I don't think they've done that.
Do you feel like you've done enough to try to push this in the right direction?
We've done everything we could.
Congressman Greg Murphy, new to the House Veterans Affairs Committee, is also weighing in, calling the appeals backlog a dark mark on this government for not taking better care of those who served our country once they come home. More importantly, he told us, quote, "I will be pushing in the strongest way possible for the VA to address this issue." Nate Morbido, WCNC Charlotte.